YouTube. You're gonna have to give us a little bit of a bit of patience, but we got a little bit of theme music, right?
How about them Cowboys?
And we're back to business, Harvey. It's Monday.
That's it.
So if you could give me a little quick sound check, Harvey, if you can on TikTok, I want to make sure that everybody can hear you. That's the most important thing.
Everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Sound check on TikTok. Anybody? Everybody can hear me? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see if they can hear me, Jerry.
Look, we already
They
got
can
Adam.
hear me. They can hear me.
Sweet. What up,
Yep.
Adam? Hey, Victory Monday, baby. Victory Monday, man. We'll be talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the Cowboys are ready. All right. I believe Harvey. Hey, he says he can hear y'all. Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
No, but we're making sure that they can hear Harvey on TikTok. Hey, real quick, I want to give a shout out to TikTok. Thank you all. We've seen some substantial growth in the last couple of days, man. It is crazy, man. Cowboys Nation, we love you. You guys are phenomenal. Even Eagles Nation, 49ers Nation, all of y'all. I mean, how do you think Bland and Wright played? D gave up 350 yards. Let's go right into it, man. Right? The good, the bad. Ram wants to talk about this specifically. How do you think Bland played? And he has a couple of plays. He has a couple. It's three parts: Bland, Nashawn Wright, and then of course he wants to know overall about the defense giving up 350. Adam said real quick, and so can the haters.
They can hear me too. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. No, man.
Look,
So
we already got a different hater already hating, man. He's calling out the Cowboys are going to lose against the Niners, man.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Love
is love, no matter what.
Hey, well, at least somebody believes that they're going to see us in an NFC Championship, aside for us delusional Cowboy Nation.
That's
right?
what it means. We'll be in the NFC Championship, right? But no, man. To Ram's question, how do you think Bland and Wright played? I think, given the circumstances, I don't think these guys have all played together, like I said before. And yeah, they gave up 350 yards, but you also got to realize, like, man, I don't care what kind of defense you are. This team has been torching a lot of defenses, and I don't know if you will be able to stop the Philadelphia Eagles. I think you can only contain them and slow them down a little bit. But I don't know about stopping. This offense is good, man. But I think at the end of the day, like I told you before, Jerry, we have to score 40 to 45 points to beat Philadelphia. That's what we have to do, man. And we did that, and we showed that we could beat them. Now, as far as everybody's talking, well, it was Gardner Minshew. It doesn't matter. And I think this rings true what Micah Parsons, and everybody talked a lot of trash. He did say, is it Micah Parsons or is it the team? I mean, not Micah Parsons. Is it Jalen or is it the team? There was a different quarterback, and they still did the same thing. So what does that tell you? Is Jalen Hurts that special? I'm not trying to cause controversy. I'm not playing the hate game. You just got to think, man, another quarterback stepped in, and it's like they never missed a beat. So what does that tell you? Is he the real MVP? Or is he just part of the system? All good questions, right, Jerry?
All good questions. And that's been one that's been lingering on for, me and you have been talking about that. Is he a system quarterback? Is it a part of the system, right? Adam says, our defense needs to tighten up, especially in the secondary. Yes, right? Because obviously we saw Trayvon Diggs get smoked twice. There's no way to do it. Ramiro says on TikTok, let's go haters, keep bringing it, right? So obviously they can see that. And if you guys really want to be a part of this discourse, you come over and join us on YouTube, and we'll get to see your comment section there. He goes, I sound like a broken record, but the long ball every now and then is killing us. Honestly, I like what I saw. I kind of want to get back to what Ram said. Nashawn Wright actually played a relatively good game, man. He really did, man. It was a pretty good game. Yeah, he's a little stiff, but I mean, it comes with the territory. How tall is he, Harv? I think exact
6'4".
measurements were 6'4", and he has pretty good speed. So I do like how Nashawn Wright played. Deron Bland, we saw him play a lot on the outside. It's crazy because I know that we had been saying, "Wow, look at the Seahawks. It got Tariq Woolen in the 5th round, and man, he's playing lights out." But heck, Cowboys got Deron Bland in the 5th round, and right now I believe they're both. Well, no, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Tariq has what 6 interceptions this year. Deron Bland, I
He
would
does
have,
have 6.
and Deron Bland has 5. You know, a good question that we should maybe ask ourselves is, do you think that he should be in consideration for rookie defensive player of the year? Right. I know last year we got that one with Micah. Uh, but the
It's
long
funny
ball,
you
man.
asked that because I was about that.
It's a good question. I mean, 5 interceptions, it's hard to do. I mean, not even our ball hawk from last year did that. Somebody said the Cowboys defense needs to step up again, losing to the Jags, letting them come back and like they did in Green Bay. All great statements. And you know what I love about this team is that they're very aware. Should the Cowboys have gone more of a cover 2 like the Bears and Commanders did? You know, I'll tell you this. This is a conversation that me and Harvey were having, right? Harvey, we were saying, why do the defensive backs play so well, so off of the line of scrimmage, man? And what did you said it specifically? You were explaining Dan Quinn's system. So if you want, chime in on that.
that's that's kind of his philosophy. So when he goes zero, that means everybody's man up and they blitz. He likes for the cornerbacks to play off and react to them as they're making their breaks. The problem with that is, though, you can do that if you're in midfield or just starting out past midfield, but towards the end zone, man, you can't do that. You have to be right on them. The problem was is that on that touchdown when they went zero blitz, uh, Bland, he kind of hesitated because he had to wait for the receiver to make the break. And once he made the break, he made his move. It was too late. It was too late in the end zone. So some of those things, either we have to come up on the line if we're don't going zero blitz, um, or in that scenario, um, at least come halfway. Don't go get back like 8 to 12 yards. But that's the way Dan Quinn likes to play his defense, man, on a zero blitz. So I don't know if you're going to change his mind on it.
It's kind of hard because I mean we've seen it, like I mean even like you said, a casual fan can see, especially like I know, like your brothers are both officials, and they can tell. I mean they can see it. They played football. They understand football. They played it. They've seen it. They've been watching it. They've been studying it. They understand. Like I mean, hey man, your corners are playing a little bit too much off, right? Let's get them closer. Let's jam them. Maybe we can jam them. We can get them off of their route, and maybe that'll allow our defensive line to get home, right? Because the biggest question is, hey, I don't see the sacks anymore. Well, you know what? The quarterbacks have been getting the ball off, or they're getting it to the receivers earlier, right? They're not holding it for 3 seconds. Adam says giving up the long ball early and giving the momentum away, to test our defensive backs. We need to score on our opening drive before the half, beginning of the third, and not allow any team to keep up with us. But that's all on more. Let's talk about that real quick, right? Because that's a good point. We saw some wrinkles. What is it that you liked about the offense, real quick? I mean, I know we said the defense kind of, we gave up. Gardner. Regardless, people want to say he's a backup. He's been a starting quarterback in the NFL for about 2 seasons. Regardless of the situation, he's been the starting quarterback. He knows what he needs to do. The defense did give up they did give up a lot of yardage, but a lot of it was on junk. Not junk like junk, but chunk, right? They're on chunk plays, Harvey. What is it that you liked about what you saw on offense first? Let's go with offense first because people want to bash our defense all day.
So the offense I liked, and I watched almost all the film that I could watch on this offense, right, for the last day. Um, and what I like, Kellen Moore has changed a little bit, is the deeper routes. He's not giving them a choice. He's making them develop. But the underneath routes, he's giving them a choice whether to go in, to go out, to cut up. So what I think what he's doing with Dak is he's seeing them look at his primary receiver And if it's not there, when he starts progressing, those guys are already on their second routes as he progresses. So I think that's why you're seeing Dak play a little bit better in these couple of weeks because he's letting him do that. So that's the one thing I did like. But I also think there are some plays to be had, man, that Dak did miss. I wish we could go in deeper and show some plays and stuff like that. Maybe we'll do that in the future, Jerry. But um, you can tell that they are changing the offense. The other thing I did like was they were running some run plays I've never seen the Cowboys run before. I think on one of the plays they ran a backside trap with the tight ends where Pollard ran up the middle for like 10 yards. That was a play I've never seen before. The other play was on the goal line when they had jumbo set and they had Peters on the right side. They had a tight end on the left, and then they had two fullbacks that were tight ends. I think it was Ferguson and Hendershot, and they ran the ball. I mean, Zeke probably could have walked in that touchdown. So those are some of the wrinkles that I saw. And then obviously the CD Lamb one, that was a choice route going over the top. So I don't know, man. It looks like Mike McCarthy might be putting his finger on this offense from the film that I've watched, Jerry.
I was actually going to ask you, Harvey. Do you think that this has anything to do with Mike McCarthy? Maybe perhaps telling him this is a high percentage. This is who we're facing. These corners are kind of like Trayvon Diggs. You know what I mean? Maybe we can get them to bite on this,
Yep.
abandon their assignment, and maybe we can burn them because they did that to Trayvon Diggs, right? I believe
Yep.
they sold it. And Trayvon Diggs bid on it, and it freed up Devontae Smith. I think Adam was one of the guys that said, "I need to put a hat on Devontae Smith." I think Adam was one of the first people to say that. Alex, good to hear from you. He says they need to go out Harris, bump and run, man.
I keep saying that, man.
I'll tell you this much right now. If that was to happen, you're going to knock those wide receivers off of their route and you're going to let the defense get home, man. You're going to see those sacks go back up. So, yes, you're absolutely right. That's the one thing I did not like specifically on defense, aside from our superstars need to be a little bit more disciplined. More importantly, Trayvon Diggs giving up those two that were very, big time chunk plays, and I think that those numbers are inflated, right? Especially on the yardage. Diana, she says, who and when are they going to correct Dak's interception issues? He does bounce back, but this is his fifth game in a row. This happens. I have a question for you, Diana, and I know me and Harvey have gone back and forth with this, but my question to all of y'all that are watching: would you rather have the Dak that in the beginning that we had, as a rookie, who held the ball and would not take any chances, compared to this Dak that is actually reading what he's seeing and he's taking chances? So that's my question to you guys, right? I don't see it as a problem. I like what I see in Dak. I like this Dak, this Dak's version than I did in the beginning. I'm becoming more of a believer. I will say this: I know that Dak is also a leader and he leads by example. So I know that he's going to fix this. This is not going to be something that's going to string on into the playoffs, because I think when it comes to playoffs, I think Mike McCarthy is going to start putting more and more wrinkles into Kellen Moore. He's going to bring out the plays in Kellen Moore's playbook to make sure that the Cowboys offense is running like the way it is in full gear, right? What do you think?
So I want to go over a comment somebody said on TikTok. They said, but even stopping the run, they're failing to do. I love the boys, but that is frustrating. So mark me if I'm wrong. They only rushed for 87 yards. The Eagles did.
With two running backs.
So, I mean, they technically stopped the run. Now, have they done it consistently throughout the week? No, they haven't. But they stopped Philadelphia's run. Now, granted, Jalen Hurts wasn't playing, but that's a great start, man. And I think that's why these are the games the Cowboys have to play to get that momentum and get confidence and like, hey, guys, we can do this. You know what I mean? So I pretty much, in my eyes, they stopped the run against the Philadelphia Eagles, though. So, I mean, I don't know. I answered this question, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about what Deanna says? She says about Dak's interceptions. Do you think it's going to be a lingering issue?
So this is the thing, man. And I think you said it right, Jerry. I think a lot of us were frustrated because Dak doesn't take chances in his earlier career, right? And then now we want him to be aggressive. And now that he's aggressive, he's interceptions are going to happen, right? Um, but you're right, man. At the end of the day, look, I'd rather have a gunslinger. That's I mean, you'd rather have a gunslinger and try to fit it through windows. That's just the way it is. Now, given that interception, that's Dak's fault 100%. I don't know what he was thinking. He like floated that thing like he was floating it to like a 5-year-old. I don't know why he would do that. But I think he underestimated, like you said, Jerry, the defensive end. Was it Sweat? I think it was Sweat, right?
Josh Sweat.
He
That guy. People don't know he's a former 5-star recruit. Every college wanted him.
yeah,
He chose Florida State, but
but
his freshman year and his sophomore year, he blew the same
but
ACL out.
but to talk about Diana's question, this is not good though, man. This is the thing I keep saying every year. The Cowboys cannot start slow. If this is a habit that continues and they keep starting slow, when you get in the playoffs, it doesn't work. You can't, it's hard to come back in the playoffs when you're behind 10 points. These defenses are a lot better and they're ready for you. That's the thing, man. You can't do it in the beginning. Like if you're up by 27 points, maybe, but in the beginning, you're spotting these teams 10 points. That can't happen, man. So, but the thing is, let's talk about his bounce back. He went for like 19 for 19 or something, didn't he? Didn't he, Jerry?
Yeah, he did. He did.
I
After
mean,
that, yeah.
what else after that? I think he was upset because he knew he messed up. And he just got on fire, man. So yeah, the interceptions, hopefully they keep him down, but I'm I'm I am worried, but we'll see, man, going forward. Hopefully they can correct it.
Look at M. Stein on TikTok. He says, I believe the interception ratio on Dak is mislead. Maybe 60-40 split and the 40 being on Dak. And then obviously he agreed with everything you just said because he said, yes, sir. And then Adam, he says, we need to stay aggressive the entire game on offense and defense, giving Parsons help on the other side. And it's kind of like what you were saying, right? Like we need him to be aggressive. We need Dak to be aggressive, but he's saying on both sides. Now, it was unusual to see Michael Parsons ask for a timeout, but after hearing why he was asking for a timeout, it wasn't for himself, right? He was doing it to be a leader, and that is something I love to see in Micah. He said he saw some people kind of, tired. He said, "Let's get a timeout," and he said, "Let's focus, guys." I'm paraphrasing it for you guys, but he said, hey man, championship teams, we make the plays where we need to, and we're gonna need to make this play right now. That's kind of what he said in a nutshell. So you're absolutely right, Adam, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what Dan Quinn's gonna be doing. And I mean, one thing is Kellen Moore stuck with the run even when they were not gaining a lot. One thing, right?
Yeah, one thing that Kellen Moore stuck with, and I agree with him. So this is the thing. We didn't rush for very many yards, if you look at it, right? But you have to rush enough times to keep the defense thinking like what you're going to do. Are you going to run it or are you going to pass it? Once you become one-dimensional, you've pretty much taken yourself out of the game. So I think that's what he's talking about, because if you look at it, we had 60, 96, almost 112 yards, something like that. Like we had over 100 yards. That's with Dak. Yeah. And I think that was the difference, Jerry, was running the ball with Dak, because everybody they thought they were running up the middle and they had Noah Brown lead and he took off. So I think you have to stick to the run if it's not working, because the defense is going to key in on that. And in the playoffs, man, when you become one-dimensional, that's what teams try to make you do, one-dimensional to win these games. So I'm glad that he did stick with the run, man, because if not, we probably would have been in trouble.
If you can't go back to that baseball, I believe it said something baseball comment. I kind of want to talk about that. You're gonna probably have to scroll up. But Adam said, yeah. Adam says, I agree about Dak's interceptions issues, but it's okay to be aggressive and rely on our defense to give us another chance on offense. You know what? They've been doing that. They've been doing that each week, right? It feels like the defense almost says, you know what? All right, let me go get you the ball. And they get the ball back and they say, here you go. You go make some happen.
Yeah. So a lot of people wanted to talk about, and I'm glad, I think it was Baseballer Baseball Lifer. He brought up a good one that I forgot to say. Everybody wanted to talk trash about Micah Parsons, man. Oh, he's a professional. Why'd he call timeout? That guy was sick, man, all week. He had an
all week.
illness. So I'm glad he brought that up. He was sick, man. Um, but a lot of people don't know that, and he still play. And he has a shoulder injury. He's hurt. So to me, man, if you got to call timeout, if anybody knows anything about football, and if you ever actually played a sport, if you actually ever played a sport, you know sometimes at the end of the game you get tired, man. If you're giving it your all, you get tired. There, like Jimmy Johnson said a long time ago, tiredness will make cowards of us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad Micah Parsons called the timeout, man, because essentially, if you look, they put a lot of pressure on him and he threw the ball away. So obviously it worked, right? So I'll leave it at that. But I'm glad that Baseball Lifer called it out.
Yeah, that's why I said go find what he said. Naval says, I think that Dak I like the Dak that wins in the playoffs. So far, not the case. Prove me wrong this year, Dak, right? Hey, Noel, we're all in it, man. We're all in it. Tony Romo was a gunslinger and got us nowhere near a Super Bowl. Ooh, Noel, you just kind of hit everybody. You kind of gave every Romo fan a gut punch on that one. What it it's true. What did what's his name say? The comedian Raymond Horta. He would say Tony Romo will go and throw you three picks, but come and bring you back in the game. But in the end, it's kind of hard. He didn't really go very far in the playoffs. It almost feels like history is repeating itself with Dak Prescott. Hopefully, Dak can break that mold, right? Adam said that's why I say stay aggressive, but about starting slow. It looks like they trying. I mean, Harvey, are they trying to? Does it look like they're trying to start off fast? First and
It,
foremost, it's a good question.
I think they are. They're trying to, um, but I think they need to go with quick passes. They're still running their long deep routes, and they still have option routes. But at that point, let's start quick, man. Let's run a stop route. Let's run a quick slant. Let's run something that Dak can get, because quarterbacks have to be in a rhythm, man. You have to feel it. You know what I mean? And when you try to run those long routes and it's a incomplete or whatever, it kind of throws you off a little bit of timing. So um, I do think they're trying to start. I think every team tries to start off fast. Um, but here lately, it seems like this last game, they were running some different stuff that I've never seen before. So I'm guessing that's, like I said, Mike McCarthy wants them to start fast. So it has to be, man.
And I'm pretty sure the Titans is going to be a good matchup. It's going to be a short week for us, right? Because we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're going to go kick off on Thursday. Jose Rios, Joe, great thing about Dak is that he stays in the fight, doesn't lose composure too much after mistakes, and got to give him credit for keeping us in the game. Man, that is like that is facts, man. I need a round of applause for that, man. Hey Joe, you basically said everything without leaving the emotions out and just stating facts. I mean, that's the thing that I'm seeing in Dak. That's why I'm saying I love this Dak. No matter what, I know we have a chance with this Dak, and the same thing with Romo. But like Noel says, man, we gotta break that curse, man. We gotta get
Yeah.
past the first round, and then we gotta continue fighting. We're gonna have to, if we get past first round, it looks like we're gonna go against the Eagles, and by then hopefully it's going to be a healthy Eagles. I know that right now they lost Antoine Maddox, who, I mean, he was giving the Cowboys fits on. I think he's out indefinitely. Lane Johnson, I know he's out. I believe for the regular season, but they're hoping to get him back in the playoffs. We'll see about that. Ramiro says, "Can we talk about Ty?" So I think he's been waiting. I was waiting for it too. Harvey, take it away, man.
Yeah. So I'll say something before I speak on that. But Baseball Lifer, I don't know who he is, but he has some good things. He said Dak is mentally tough because of what he's been through life.
Ooh. He's been through a lot, man.
He has been through a lot, if you know Dak. So that's a good one.
A lot.
Um, so Ty, man, I keep saying this, and you know how I am. Let's throw the ball deep, man. Why don't we throw you have to test these guys. And as you can see on 3rd and 30, the reason Slay got burned was because you ain't gonna throw this thing on me deep. You crazy. That's what he was thinking. That's why he was trailing and watching the quarterback, because he thought he was gonna run a comeback or a stop at that 15, 20-yard mark. He didn't realize T.Y. Hilton still can run, man. And he outran that safety too, thinking the same thing. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like T.Y., and I think CD Lamb said it too. CD Lamb said, quote, T.Y. Hilton has slowed the game down for me. What does that tell you? This guy's here to win, man. And if you see how far that guy almost seems like, I don't know, like he came out of retirement or something and like had to prove people wrong. He was so upset. Did you see him at the end of the play, like
Oh yeah.
bumping his chest? And he's like, I told you. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knew they were talking trash about, oh, you can cover this dude. He's old. He's slow. He's not what he used to be. Well, teams got to watch out now, man, because if you have that threat, and like I said it, and I saw some film, they started running T.Y. Hilton deep, and they were running Schultz underneath that coverage, and Schultz was catching the ball underneath. So I think it's going to bring another dynamic, Jerry. That deep threat, man, you're taking away two people from that play, and now you got to go one-on-one with other people. It's going to cause a lot of problems. But yeah, T.Y. Hilton, man, let's go.
I love it. Hey, Ram, he's bringing, like Harvey said, leadership, man. I mean, and not only that, but for Dak to trust him on that 3rd and 30, wow. I believe the trajectory of that ball was 52 yards in the air, and he hit him right in the money, man. And I don't think if he didn't catch that ball, Cowboys don't win this game, man. I'm
No.
telling you right now.
Mm-mm.
That was in the fourth quarter with like 7 minutes and some change. And man, he stepped up, and you know what? Like you said, he's been a leader since he came in, and it's crazy. Like you said, CD said that he showed him, or that he's been coaching him up, telling them, hey, if this is the look they give you, this is what you want to try. So it's kind of cool that he gave him a lot of praise, saying, this guy's helped me out, and then he's leading by example by going out there and making the big play when you need to make a big play, so I love it. I'm very surprised by the pick. I've always liked Ghost, don't get me wrong, and that's what he's gone by, is Ghost. I've always liked Ty. I've always thought that he was a really great catch, right? Like just Joe even said it, that catch on 30-30, man, that thing was epic, right? Adam says we need to prepare to play Brady like now. We need to retire his ass to the first round. You know what? I think that's what's gonna happen, man. I feel that honestly, how they say the third time's your charm. I think Dak has been wanting to put that last nail in the coffin, and he's gonna have an opportunity of a lifetime, right? Because he has what, two over Dak, I think, right now, technically.
Yeah.
Well, as a Buccaneer for sure.
Yeah.
Adam. Well, okay, my bad. Alex Parsons played like a beast. Put the tape on. Film don't lie. Man, I saw Gardner Minshew scared for his life,
He
man.
was, man.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen some. I was seeing some moves that I have not seen Micah use. So he's been putting in the work. I don't know who's been coaching him up, but he's been doing exactly what he needs to do as a leader in that defense. And the pressure he brings, wow. And you're talking about some consider the best left tackle right now, currently in the NFL right now. Mayova, is that his name? Is that him? A positive. CeeDee Lamb keeps shining. 10 receptions, 120 yards, receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. Let's go. Round of applause on that, man, for our wide receiver one. Hey, Ari, I think somebody's taking some shots at you on TikTok, specifically towards you.
What did it? I don't see it.
You got to scroll up a little bit. They're like, Javier, hold on. You guys are something. You guys have not won in the playoffs. You guys are one and done. I don't know. Somebody.
Man, how many other, like, I don't, it doesn't bother me, man. Like, to
Everybody's
be
taking
honest,
everybody's
everybody
everybody's taking a break right now. Everybody's on vacation. They're enjoying their holidays, but we're
at
here.
the end of the day, this is my thing, man. There's a lot of teams that have been waiting for a Super Bowl. Like, it's hard to win a Super Bowl, man.
Let's clarify also, right? Because some troll got me kind of, some troll got me last week, saying they couldn't hear you, and you were saying this, but me and you, we actually went in there. We did the homework, right? Why are people so harsh on Dak Prescott? He's a 4th round draft pick. Obviously, I don't think it's the money anymore, because obviously he's not making the most money right now. Kyler Murray is making the most at 52 million annual salary. Dak is at 40 million average salary. I think it's more so because he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Because if you actually look at the big picture, how many Super Bowls have there been, Harvey?
57, I believe.
And how many
57.
total, when we went back, and how many total quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl?
I want to say it was 29,
That was in 2012, but we
33. I'm
thir-
sorry.
32.
32, 33 quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl.
That
That's crazy, man.
that's a crazy. That's a crazy number, man. That's a crazy number.
Like, that's insane.
It is insane. It's nuts, man. To think about it. I mean, you can't even. I mean, I don't even think the average fan would phantom that only 32, 33 men, right? 32 men have been able to accomplish a Super Bowl victory. Luckily Tom Brady has 7 of those. So that's how you get those numbers that way.
So this is my other take. If people watch a lot of football, not just their team, you also got to think this, man. There's markets in the NFL that it's hard to play at. One being the Dallas Cowboys because of the spotlight and all the every little thing gets critiqued, right? We're talking about the New York Giants. Everything gets critiqued in the New York Giants. As good as Eli Manning was, didn't he get so much crap?
Yes.
So much. The New York Jets, right? They're the same way. Look at Zach Wilson, man. He was a number 2 pick, man. He ain't doing too well because the spotlight is on him. It's hard to be in that spotlight. He was a number 2 pick, and he's nowhere near Dak. Now, he has a better arm than Dak, but he's nowhere near a leader that Dak is or what Dak did in the first 2 years. So you got all these different players, man. Like, it's hard to play in this league. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find quarterbacks. It's a love and hate relationship with Dak, man. That's just the way it is, man. A lot of Cowboy fans expect a lot because of the tradition that we have. It's called tradition. Yeah, we haven't won a Super Bowl in 27 years, but there's been tradition established from the beginning, and they expect you to play a certain way. That's why it's so hard. And then on top of trying to win a Super Bowl, when you draft a quarterback, that quarterback has a 10% chance of winning a Super Bowl. Think about that.
It's a fact. That's a true fact.
10%. That's crazy, man.
It's a fact. Hey, baseball lifer, you need to come over here. You need to join us on YouTube. The link is in the TikTok bio. Hey, you're on our side, man. Come on over here and play ball with us.
Yeah.
Adam says 40 burger will take us deep in the playoffs. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I'll tell you this, the playoffs, we know that in the playoffs, teams focus in on stopping the run. So when they stop the run, you're going to need a passing game that is effective and efficient. And like Harvey said, you need to take a chance with a deep ball here and there, but get the ball out fast. So definitely Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's been there before. Alex says, does the deep playoff push hang on more on Dak than anyone else? Ooh, man. I think it does, man. Dak has been here 7 seasons.
Yep, 7.
And it's hard. He got paid the big money, and now he's a big timer. He's a franchise quarterback. I think that the name that came to my mind, Harvey. Remember when we were talking about this? About the conversations don't ever stop on the show.
No.
Me and Harvey we're we're boys outside of this, man. It's nonstop. Well, who was the name that I told you he reminds me of? A situation, like I said, Steve Young. So for those that don't know, Steve Young came into a situation where he inherited a tradition franchise in the 49ers. And when he won the Super Bowl, that was the 94 season. And it was crazy because after he won, he beat the Cowboys. He went to the Super Bowl. What was the first thing he did when he got to the back when they're interviewing people? What was the first thing that he did, Steve Young, if you remember?
He told him to take a monkey off his back.
Yep. He turned around. He put his hands up like that. And somebody went and took the monkey off of his back, right? And I feel that this is kind of like the Dak moment. Now, that's what I'm scared. The only thing that scares me is that I feel that if Dak was to win a Super Bowl, the one thing that fears me is that it's going to be a one-time Super Bowl. And that's the one thing that I would love to see I would love to see multiple Super Bowls from this storied and tradition franchise like the Dallas Cowboys, because if any team deserves to be there in the Super Bowl every year, it's the Dallas Cowboys. And we all know that too. Ramiro said, Go ahead.
I got it.
Go for it.
Ramiro says, I get everyone says Dallas only won one playoff game. Talk about how we lost to the 49ers last year. Yet we talk about the past, and it's like, why are you bringing up old crap?
Got
You
a
know
good,
what, man?
got a good point. Got a good point.
Yeah, it is, man. Like I think we just need to move on, man. The past is the past. It is what it is. Um, we always talk about the Eagles and all these different teams, but at the end of the day, man, the now is now, right? Is the NFL stands for not for long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whatever happened last year is last year. I mean, look at the Rams. They're they're in shambles, man.
Well,
Like,
they might make it.
nah, but still, man, they ain't gonna come on. Like, I don't think they're gonna make any noise, and if they do make the playoffs. I mean, I'm just saying. You
Shout out.
never know, though. You never know.
Yeah, yeah, it's the NFL. Shout out to TikTok, 3,500 likes. We appreciate it. We got 13 viewing. We appreciate you guys, baseballer. But he says, and in the playoffs, our Cowboys get back LVE, Hankins, and the defense from injuries. Yes.
Yep, that's true,
You
man.
see, baseballer, come on over to the dark
I
side.
think he's right, man. I think we miss LVE more than people, and we had a lot to say about him because he couldn't stay healthy. But if you look at, he played so well, man. So I think we miss him, man. Him plugging up the run in the middle, I think it's going to help us a lot going forward, and especially Hankins, man. Them getting healthy at the same time is definitely going to help us out a lot. So
It will
we'll
a
see.
lot. Hankins, he knows how to. He's a space eater, man. He can take up 2 blocks, and he lets the linebackers free, man. Adam says, "Love the way haters focus on us more than their own team. That's why we are America's team. Haters all over the world. DC for life, you know."
That's true.
Black Mamba, what's up, fellas? Hey, what's up, Black
What's
Mamba?
up, Black Mamba?
He goes, "What? In order for us to move on, we need to play as a unit, not individually." You know
And that
what?
we keep saying that, man. We keep saying that. Imagine if Diggs, I love Diggs to death. He takes a lot of risk, right? But in that pass where he bit and they threw it over the top to Devontae Smith, if he just did his job and not somebody else's, there's nowhere to throw the ball. He throws it away. Um, but that's what you get, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happens. So
But at the same token, we got to give credit where credit is due. He shut down AJ Brown, man, because who is the one that's always scoring 3 touchdowns a game in that Eagles offense when it comes to wide receivers?
AJ Brown.
And they had to go to their number 2, right?
Hey, hold on real quick, Jerry.
It's all good. I got you guys. What I could do is go ahead and get us a little caught up on the TikTok real quick. Let's see here. Joshua, what's up? The defense tradition. It's been 25 years with nothing won and not even NFC championship. Ooh, that's original. The speed of the game. Yeah. Oh, you don't even know who's your team. We don't even know who your team is. Your team probably never even won a Super Bowl. You're probably a Houston Texas fan. You're probably a Tennessee Titan fan. Somebody says it's not the spotlight. The game is vastly different from college to pros. The speed of the game alone, for sure, for sure. And somebody agreed. Can we call T.Y. Hilton the dagger? uh, yeah, but I didn't see. Somebody says AJ Brown had 100 yards. Yeah, but those were on that was on those were chunk plays, bro. Don't get all. You see how it goes. When we bring out stats, we're bringing out stats to bring out facts. You're telling me AJ Brown had 100 yards, so he had 10 catches, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. When he's been doing that to every single team in the NFL except for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, those 100 yards are a little bit inflated because Diggs did bite on it. We're admitting Diggs needs to clean that up, man. But for the most part, it wasn't an AJ Brown type game. What did Black Mama say? Diggs needs to cover all the top receivers. And you know what? We saw him do that. We saw him moving around. What I liked also is like it's crazy, right? How we found this rookie, Deron Bland, and he stepped outside and he looked good too, Harp. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that he has a future on the outside, or you think he should keep it nickel?
I think that guy can play wherever he wants at this point. Honestly, man, the way that guy played, like, this guy's a steal, man. He's right now, I believe he's number 4 in interceptions. and this guy hasn't played all year.
Let me ask you something.
What does that tell you? He's
It,
got
it says a lot. It says a lot
like
because you said Tariq Woolen has been playing since preseason all the way till now, man. 6 interceptions. Deron Bland, came in after the injury to Jordan Lewis, and he's been playing lights out, right? So,
so real quick. C.J. Gardner Johnson leads the NFL with 6. Tyreek Woolen with 6. Jair Alexander with 5, and Deron Bland with 5.
oof, and Jair Alexander just got paid, man. He just got paid. Somebody says, I'm a 49er fan and would love to sit and chat with y'all. Not a troll, but to make counterpoint. Hey, we're gonna implement a phone. We're gonna have a phone where you guys can call
Yeah.
in. But you could come and join us here, and we could show
Who's that? You
your
in the
comment.
bushes? If you're in the bushes, if you come over to YouTube, man, we can get your name, and that way you can be one of the callers.
Yeah,
Once we do get the call working,
yeah.
for
Link,
sure.
link in the bio. It says when he does that, it allows the other corners with their confidence. Yeah, man. So it's kind of hard, right? Because I'll tell you this: the future looks very bright. We talked about this, and you know what? I had this conversation with an Eagles fan. And you know what? Uh, you know what he said? He goes, "You know what, Jerry? You're absolutely right. Beyond this season, I don't know if the Eagles can continue this because you're talking about an older team, and they're going to have
Old.
to start rebuilding.
Yeah.
And they also have Jalen Hurts, who's up for a contract, so he's probably going to be making about $50 million or $52 million, whatever the going rate is
Going rate. Yeah.
the going rate is at. So when that happens, what happens? They have to sit down and really focus in on creating the team around him, right? So you're gonna have a bunch of Eagle fans that feel about, the way the Cowboy fans feel about Dak, right? Because he took the 40 million contract. You're gonna have a lot of Eagles fans feeling the same way when it's time for Jalen Hurts to go on board. Tell the guy on TikTok if he's gonna bring up stats about AJ Brown to put them all out there. His stat line was 6 catches, 103 yards, and one one loss to Go Cowboys.
These guys are ruthless,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. That's so funny.
No, but yeah. So I think somebody brought up a good question. The spread is 9.5, and on TikTok, I think it was Brian Weidman. I don't want to mess up your name. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm betting it. What y'all think? Hey, I think at this point, I think I told Jerry before we got into the show, just to give y'all a little update on other teams, right? Because we're playing the Titans on Thursday. If the Titans lose this game and the Jaguars win their game, at the end of the day, all the Titans have to do is win the last game against the Jaguars, and they win the division and they're in the playoffs. So there's a lot of people banged up for the Titans. So it makes sense for Mike Vrabel to rest everybody, all the starters on offense and defense. So you might see a lot of backups against the Cowboys. I'm not sure if that's what he's going to do, but Jerry, you want to go through the injury report
Yeah, sure thing. There's a total of 9 Titan players that did not participate at all in practice today.
yeah.
But yeah, the spread is at -8.5. So I would ask Joe Reels, and you should go follow his TikTok. Joe's an awesome guy. But let's go ahead and go through obviously the Tennessee Titans, so we know. Autry, their linebacker, he is dealing with a bicep injury, did not participate. Aaron Brewer, he's their guard, he has a calf injury, he was limited. Dylan Cole, their linebacker, has an ankle injury, did not participate. Zach Cunningham, the linebacker, formerly of the Texans, he has an elbow injury, did not participate. Bud Dupree, he's dealing with a pectoral injury. Man, those pectorals are no joke. Did not participate. Christian Fulton, a cornerback, formerly of LSU, they drafted him. He has a groin injury, did not participate. Derrick Henry, the big one, the running back, he's dealing with a hip injury, did not participate. Amani Hooker, the safety out of Iowa, dealing with a knee injury, did not participate. Nicholas Petit Freer, the offensive tackle, is dealing with an ankle injury. He's from Ohio State. He did not participate. Jeffrey Simmons, the very talented defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons, is dealing with an ankle injury, did not participate. Ryan Tannehill, of course, ankle, did not participate. I believe he's already been ruled out for the remainder of the season, correct, Harvey, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah,
And then
who?
Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
And then Josh Thompson, defensive back, concussion, did not participate. That's 9 players on theirs. For the Dallas Cowboys, we have Dorrance Armstrong. He still has that knee injury, but he was a full participant today. Noah Brown, he has a foot injury, full participant today. Jaron Curse, of course, we've known about the elbow slash back. I believe it's we thought it was a neck, but it's elbow slash back. But he was limited. DeMarcus Lawrence still with a foot, he was limited, and then of course Zach Martin, he has a bit of a knee situation, but he was a full participant today. Tony Pollard and Leighton Vanders did not participate today. I think thigh it's a thigh injury with Tony Pollard, and of course LVE the neck injury or the shoulder injury, the shoulder stinger, and then Sam Williams with the concussion. He was limited today. So that is the injury report right now. Early injury report. The game's coming up fast and furious, man. So in the end, what was so just to clarify, what was it that you liked and what was it that you did not like overall, Harv, of the Cowboy game against the Eagles? I know.
Diggs, man. Diggs needs to clean some stuff up. Like he can, if he wants to be a top corner, you can't be doing those type of things. And if you go back and you look at the film, like all you had to do was take care of your responsibility. Always keep everything in front of you. As long as you do that, you won't get burned. But he wanted to be risky and take the risk. It is what it is. But if he cleans those up and they don't score on those, one of them they didn't score, but they got to the close to the goal line. You're talking about 14 points, man. That's a big difference in the playoffs. We're talking playoffs because that's what we have to relate to. But the defense, I'll give it to this, man. They never gave up. They never gave up, man. Even when they got scored on, they never gave up. They still made interceptions. They still put pressure on. I mean, they wouldn't. It's nonstop, man, all game long. So that I can thank. The offense, I saw a lot of more different plays they've been running, which is crazy, right? And I think that relates to Dak's performance of them changing a lot of things on offense. You have to see the film, man, to understand it. But they're going away from a lot of choice routes, which are half, and the other ones are deep routes where you can read people. So I like it, man. The run game, can they please just run jumbo every time? Because that play was just wide open on the goal line, and it's a mismatch. I think if they're keeping that a secret in the playoffs, it might surprise some teams on play action off of that. So if they can go jumbo with Peters on one side, tight end on the other side, and 2 tight ends as fullbacks, that could be dangerous, man. That could be very dangerous. So those are kind of – and then the last thing, I like the way Dak reacted, man. I think you have to give him credit. For him to have the game he had in the beginning and then to come out and ball out. And this is what people got to realize, right? I want to show you. I want to make sure I get the stats right. He was 27 for 35, 347 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Not one quarterback that the Eagles have played have passed more than 300 yards. And I'll leave it at that, Jerry.
Black Mamba says Titans are not winning. We better win. That's it. Yes, Joe says ESPN has a spread at Cowboys -10. If you get it at 8.5, take it. Cowboys are hyped after a dub against the Eagles. I expect them to cover the spread and the over, which is at 42. Yeah, I saw 42.5. And Black Mamba says I agree. So it's good, man. We love that. Anything on TikTok?
Yeah, they got some couple of questions. Dak Prescott got it. The pick to throw in the Eagles game after the Titans game. Those ugly short yards by Zeke will finally be appreciated. Will the Cowboys rest their starters against Washington if Philly clinches East this week? Interesting.
That's a good question.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I would be very selective on those, right? So maybe I'd want to give maybe Micah Parsons a rest because Micah, we know Micah doesn't take plays off, and DeMarcus Lawrence probably give him some rest because it's kind of exciting to see Sam Williams and Dante Fowler and let's see Tack McKinley get in there too, right? We got a Johnny Munoz. I think this is this a first timer? I'm not too familiar with.
He is a first timer.
I hope you subscribe, man. Like and share it, man. If you have some Cowboy Nations, you want to be a part of the discourse. Cowboys are going to throw it to Peters in the Hall of Fame package for a TD before the season is over. Book it, man. You know what? I like it, man. I believe.
That's
I think they coined. It was Greg Olson who coined that play where Zeke punched it in. He called it the Golden Jacket
like it.
formation, right? And they did highlight and they said that anytime the Cowboys run that, they score more touchdowns than anybody in the entire NFL. It doesn't matter what defense they're facing off. So yeah, I would love to see that against the 49ers because that 49ers defense can stop the run.
Yeah.
And if we could get going with that running play, shoot, let's just run it down their throats, just like how they do to every single team. He goes, "Oh, let's go!" He's the he's
Baseball
the baseball
first.
life.
Hell yeah, bro.
That's what's up, man. Awesome, man.
Welcome, man. Welcome to the family.
Yes, sir. Round of applause, man. You see that TikTok? Why can't you guys just click on the link? Like it, subscribe, be a part of the fam, man. Black Mama was one. Yeah, I would rest the squad. I was in. He goes. I
If
was
I
the,
was a
I was the
coach.
coach, but I'm not. LOL. No, but no. Like I said, you gotta be selective, right? You gotta be very selective on who you can rest. And I think Micah, we gotta get him some time to get some icy hot on that shoulder or something. He goes, yeah, hey man, we're honored to have you on,
Yeah,
man. You
for
definitely
sure.
your football intelligence is very impressive. I'll tell you that. Somebody said, "Do you think all NFC East teams are making the playoffs?"
That's gonna
Man,
be rough, man.
if the Cowboys rest, does that mean they can take the brakes off? I mean, take the foot off the gas pedal?
I don't. You know what? I don't. Oh, he said helping y'all grow.
I
No, for
appreciate
sure,
that, man.
man. I appreciate it,
Appreciate
brother.
that.
No, I think it's one of those things. Like if our defense and offense were clicking and they were just destroying people, I say you rest people. I think you have too many things to clean up on both offense and defense. You have too many things to clean up to try to rest people. That's just my opinion. The offensive line, right, is one of them. This is Tyrone Smith's second week playing. You still got to get his legs underneath them. Communication, passing people off and on. The defense playing with new defensive backs. Marquise Alexander was playing, right?
Yes. Hey,
Nashawn Wright was playing together. These guys have never played together before. So we needed to get these guys communicating. And that, I think, in my opinion, Jerry, that's what it is for these couple of next weeks for me, man, if I were the coach. That's just me, though. The Titans, on the other hand, they don't have to win this game. They just got to win the last one. So obviously I would rest everybody. That's just me.
every team right now, their story is unique. It's different, right? To get into the playoffs, and of course, elbowing each other to get into the proper seeding and whatnot. But big takeaways from the game that I really enjoyed were, like you said, Dak obviously was dealing with that adversity and he turned it around. And T.Y. Hilton, I think that he's definitely a surprise. He took me by surprise, and you know what? He stepped up. He's become the leader on that offense that we needed. That veteran presence, right? That's helping out the younger players become better players. On defense, I didn't like how we give up that many yards and give these guys, oh, AJ Brown is a beast. Yeah, no, CD Lamb's a beast. Wide receiver number one. Remember that. Joe Rio's got to keep the foot on the gas right now, build momentum on the dub, and take it with you into the playoffs. I
Yep,
agree, man.
I agree.
I don't think they should rest. I think, like I said, be selective. Micah, because we want to see him kind of heal up a little bit. But Micah ain't gonna. He ain't gonna. He
He
will.
ain't gonna want to.
Yeah, he wouldn't take it. And then he says, treat it like a preseason game. Play the starters, half the game. Then, if you like what you see, sit them and talking about when you play Washington. Oh, that's a great
I like that, man.
man.
I
That's a
like that.
that's a great way of thinking of it, right? Ty stayed in shape, having his 61-year-old dad throwing him passes. Freaking awesome. You know what? I just read that report today. That is
Wow.
that is awesome, dude. I just read that report today. His dad was throwing him passes, man. I didn't know his
That's
dad was that old
crazy.
though. That's crazy. 61 years old. Anything good on TikTok?
I hope all NFC makes the playoffs. Matt, we will make it farther in the playoffs. Or may, I guess. I
I mean,
mean,
the way it looks, man, it's crazy because the being the fifth seed, you'd play the Bucks, and then from there, I believe I mean, they would have to face off against the Eagles again.
Well, I think we would still stay in the fifth seed. We can lose these last two games and still be the fifth seed.
No, but I'm saying, but if you enter as the fifth seed, you get past the first round. You're still gonna have to face the Eagles, right, as the
Yep,
fifth.
we'll play the Eagles
And
regardless.
yeah, so it's a
Unless the Eagles somehow the Vikings lose to either the Giants or the Commanders, whoever's 6-7, and somehow, you know, if somebody is a lower seed than us, we will play the Niners. But if we're the lowest seed, we will play the Eagles. Some crazier things have happened. I'm just saying.
It's crazy, man. Especially when you get into playoffs. Ty is our sleeper.
He is, man.
That I mean, why make it so complicated? Eagles because they have the first seed. They will play the last seeded team. So yeah, we wouldn't play them. It would be some.
Well, no. If the first round finished off and all the teams that won, so if the Vikings win, if the Niners win, and we win, then we play the Eagles because we're the lowest seed.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But what I'm saying is, for whatever reason, if the Vikings lose to one of these teams, we would play instead the Niners, and the Eagles would either play the Giants or the Commanders, whichever one beats the Vikings.
Oh, because of the lower seed.
Correct.
But because of the lower seed, we would take over for the Vikings, basically.
Yeah, so it just kind of depends how everything play. You never know, man. These playoffs, the Vikings ain't looking too good. I mean, they have a good record, but they're suspect, man. But we'll see.
Hey, all you on TikTok that are being haters and stuff, that saying the Cowboys are not going to get out of the first round. Make sure you keep that same energy. Make sure you check back after the first week, man, because it's a different story, man. It's a different team too.
Different team.
Yeah, way different team. Well, that's it for today, man. Tomorrow we're gonna go ahead and break it down. I believe what an ugly name, the Commanders. Dude, that's the ugliest name. I mean, they should have gone. They should have just seen it if they could have bought the name the Wizards, right, from Washington, the basketball team. But yeah, man, that's it for us today. You know, we're gonna do a little bit deeper dive, and we're gonna look into the Tennessee Titans. We're gonna see what they do on defense. You know, what kind of pressures they bring on defense, and then of course what they do on offense. I believe you guys love defense, so we will definitely do that. Great job, brothers. Hey, appreciate you, Johnny. Have a great evening. Hey, we love the convo, definitely, man. And good night. Keep up the great work. We will, man. Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah. And what else? DC for life. Let's go, baby. And should we just end it on the song, right?
Let's go, man.
Let's end it on the song, man. Hey, TikTok, everybody. Hola. We the boys. That's it, guys.